This was the screen that I ended with previous part. This would be the last part. So this part I would just like to say about one thing that I most likely did not cover in any of the parts. So let me just share the main website. So now you can see the main website, the restaurant stuff homepage you can see. So actually that's a provision to delete items. So the restaurant staff is the main person who is most suitable to be deleting items because he knows what all is there in the shop that sells loosely uh, many items. He knows what all is there in that shop right now, what all is not there in that shop. So he is the best person who can delete an item. Okay, so suppose Masoor dal 50 gram serving is not available right now. So then he can click here. It gets deleted. There's no confirmation. Actually, I learned how to show confirmations, but I actually did not apply that, but mainly because it would take a lot of time. So now I'll just show you that that item is not there. Before that item is there, now it's not there. Now there are only four items. You can see here also there are four items. Mm, now I am done. Uh, so just a last thing I'm doing is right now remember that there's 120 rupees in the bank, right? So if I say try to get this for free, which is worth 5 rupees, then the funds that is reserved for the people who are working in the restaurant, that is the employees, that is going to be used to cover up this 5 rupees when a person clicks here, get free control. Actually, this is self-order for poor person. So basically, this is the restaurant staff ordering for a poor person. So when he clicks here, 5 rupees that is allocated to an employee or employees is used. So basically, totally 120 is there in bank, so but 5 rupees of that is used. So then 115 will be there. So when I click here, you can see this is 5. 115 is there in the bank right now. So basically, that's how my system works. Finally, whatever reserve amount is there by 11:55. If it is zero, it means full amount was received. If it's not zero, it means less than full amount was received. So that's the thing. One thing I don't know if I mentioned or not before. It may seem repetitive. I just don't know if I mentioned. Whenever this amount is more than zero, I'm planning to add an LR. But uh, creating a website that has an alarm, it's not very practical because no one would have a computer next to them as likely as a phone would be next to them. I mean, like phones can be more likely next to a person than a computer. So adding an alarm in phones is much more better than in a desktop, in a website. Phones, uh, I was thinking of apps. So maybe that is better than websites. I'm not very sure, but maybe. But however, phone adding is surely better. But maybe, I don't know, maybe apps are better than websites in this. I guess maybe apps are better in adding another feature. Okay, so the alarm is basically whenever this amount is more than zero. So it is just so that this amount can be donated. Well, anyways, a- any amount we over here, the user is notified who this amount is reserved for. It's basically the very poor people who are employees who are discouraged from getting food through the app for themselves, but are encouraged to use whatever reserve that is withdrawn from the bank at the end of the day to get their basic stuff done. So they are encouraged that way. It's not to they get stuff for themselves. It's so basically a serving priority that I would like to reinforce. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation. I tried to explain a lot of details. Uh, I did not cover all that I covered during my uh, first review of project administration, which was last time. But that was basic stuff. Actually, this was the main time I had to spend a lot of time. So what I did that time was very small compared to how much I had to do this thing. So thanks for listening. Hope you liked my idea. I am ending this recording now.